Hello, this is the Stuttering Gamer here once again, and for this video I'm going to talk about the Super Nintendo, which I think everyone can say this was probably one of Nintendo's best consoles, though you could probably say that about every one of their consoles, which, except for the Virtual Boy, black sheep of the family. Not this. The Virtual Boy. Not that. That is awesome. It was released in 1991. It was, of course, they're trying to compete with these Sega Genesis who already had a leg up in the 16-bit race, but of course all the Nintendo fans were waiting for these Super Nintendo, which of course Sega then had to mess it up and go every which way, but Nintendo just lied and wait with the Super Nintendo, while Genesis grounded themselves into the dirt with of course the 32X and then with the Sega CD. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing console, but the controller was also pretty innovative for its time. Even though it had more buttons, but Nintendo was the first to add two other buttons that would probably redefine video games as we know them. Shoulder buttons. Yep, Nintendo was the first one to add shoulder buttons where your fingers would go here. Which, this made, games like Street Fighter much better to play on the Super Nintendo than it was to play on, or not Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, because that was a game, though, no, those aren't both, yeah, both Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are probably better to play on the Super Nintendo due to the better controller. Now they also came out with the Super Game Boy, which allowed put it in there, then you put a Game Boy game in here, and you play your Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo, which I mostly do that now, because even though I do have the original Game Boy, playing on that screen just so I play them on here, which definitely looks a lot better, and playing those games is a lot more entertaining on this than it is and this right here is an eject, so you just press it, ejection. Some of the games I have Aladdin, all boxed and all nice looking, which this is a pretty good platformer. The Super Nintendo, I heard, was much better than the Genesis version. Genesis version more like a kind of like a fighter game, well, not fighter, but go around slashing people. But this one's more like a platformer, and the controls are very smooth on this. This is a very good game, though. I have Zelda: Link to the Past, which I have not been able to play this one yet, and it's killing me. But very good game nonetheless. Final Fantasy II, played a little of this. It's pretty good. Not the huge Final Fantasy fan, but yeah. Super Mario All-Stars, which has Super Mario 1, 2, 3, and the Lost Levels. Real Mario 2. And I don't blame them for not giving us a Real Mario 2, because that game is hard as hell. It would have drove us nuts. I swear. and Super Mario World, which, I mean, what more can I say about this game? Now, the reason only these 4 games have dust covers and none of the other Super Nintendo games, well, now you know you go to a video game store a lot when they say, "Hey, you've been here enough times, just take those." Now, they didn't give me these games. Oh, I think I would have had a heart attack if they gave me these games for free. They gave me the dust covers for free though, but I think that's kind of cool that, you know, they recognize me enough times there that they just give me free shit, even though if they are dust covers, even though they won't hire me there, the bastards. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This is, if you want to get into like turn-based RPGs, this is the one you should get. This is like the how-to guide, I guess, or like the level 1 of turn-based RPG games. But if you want to try to get into them, this is the one I request. Flashback. I haven't had much time with this one, but from what I can see of it, it's very interesting. Yeah. F-Zero, which this is a really good racer. You know, bright, colorful. You know, it worked, and you know, it worked really good with the Super Nintendo controller. And of course, Star Fox, which, you know, I'm gonna say more about Star Fox. So yeah, that wraps up for the Super Nintendo. Oh, I recommend if you do get one though, that you get one with the I can never remember the name, but you know, it's the red, yellow, and white cables there. Excuse me for my but you know, good thing is though, if you have a N64 or a GameCube, those cables will work with this. So definitely use that. You know, try not to use RF, because use that. But yeah, that's all for this one. See you in the next one.